Welcome back to Algebra with Miss Swartz. Today we're moving on with our inequalities. The last time we had a video, you looked at one-step inequalities. Today we're looking at multi-step inequalities. Again, looks very similar to what we did with equations. So if we look at this slide here, to solve multi-step inequalities, this is going to look almost exactly like it looked with equations. We're going to simplify each side of the inequality, if necessary, then use inverse operations to isolate our variable. And then we just have to remember, okay, big takeaway, we have to remember that if we're multiplying or dividing by a negative number, be sure to reverse our inequality symbol, okay? So you want to just bullet point that information in your notes. That's a good start. So today is a lot of examples. I'm going to go through a few of them, and then you're going to try some on your own as well. So let's get started with some examples. For number one, we don't need to simplify anything. It's already simplified on both sides. I can't combine any like terms. I can't distribute. So I'm just going to work to isolate my variable using inverse operations. So I'm subtracting 1. I'm going to add 1 to both sides. So I have 4b is less than 8. Okay. Now, if I want to get b alone, I need to divide by 4. So b should be less than 2. I didn't divide by a negative, so I just am going to keep my symbol the same. If I graph that, I'm going to have an open circle, shade it to the left. I can check it by picking any number that's less than 2. So 0, 4 times 0 is 0, minus 1 would just be negative 1. Is negative 1 less than 7? Yep, so we're good. Okay, look at number 2. Again, I don't need to simplify anything. I'm just going to subtract 8. So it's least attached to the variable. Bring down that negative. It's greater than or equal to, okay, same sign, add and keep, different sign, subtract, keep, change there. So negative 36. I got to divide by negative 9. I divided by a negative. So I'm going to have c is less than or equal to 4. So if I graph that, close circle at 4 because 4 is included in my solution set, shaded to the left. So I could pick any number that's less than 4. If I pick 0, 8 minus 0 is 8. 8 is greater than or equal to negative 28. Okay, I'm going to do 3 and then you're going to try 4. So if we subtract 11 here, nothing to simplify. We have n over negative 2 is greater than 1. Now these are divisions, so I'm going to multiply by negative 2 over 1, or multiply by negative 2, so n is greater than negative 2. But, got to remember, I almost forgot right there myself, multiplied by a negative 2, I need to make sure to switch my sign. Okay, so then if I graph it, negative 2, negative 1, negative 3, open circle at negative 2, shaded to the left. Okay, I'm going to pick a number divisible by 2, so negative 4 divided by negative 2 is 2, plus 11 is 13, which is greater than 12. I know that's right. So try 4 on your own. And if you have questions, please raise your hand. Okay, so now we are going to get to a part where we have to make sure that we're simplifying each side. So whether that's distributive property, combining like terms, we're also going to add in the idea that inequalities can also have the special solutions that we talked about with equations. So let's look at these two. I'm going to have to simplify the right side of this inequality. So distribute, so 8b plus 12. Okay, now I have variables on both sides of the inequality. I don't want that, so I'm going to get all my variables to one side. Well, when I do that in this case, my variables cancel, and I'm left with negative 3 is greater than 12. Ask yourself, is this true? Is negative 3 greater than 12? No, that's false. So our answer here, as you can maybe guess, would be no solution. So you can have no solutions with inequalities as well. Okay, let's look at this one. We have to simplify the left side. So I'm distributing. I have 10w minus 2 is less than or equal to 7 plus 10w. Okay, it's simplified. I can't combine any of these like terms. I'm going to subtract 10w from both sides because I need my variables on the same side. I'm left with negative 2. It's less than or equal to, well, these also cancel. 7. Is negative 2 less than or equal to 7? This is true. So what's our answer going to be? IMS. Or another way to say that is all real numbers. Okay, so you can have these special solutions with inequalities as well. Okay, so we have some more examples. I'll do 2, you'll do 2. Okay, so here I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides because it's already simplified. I just need to get my x's to the same side. So I have 2x minus 12 is less than or equal to negative 4. Now I just have a two-step inequality here. Add 12 to both sides. So I have 2x is less than or equal to 8. Divide by 2, and x is less than or equal to 4. It doesn't tell me to graph. And something I didn't mention over here is we don't really graph anytime we have no solution. There's nothing to graph. There's nothing that we can put on a graph. With IMS, it would cover all of the graphs, so we don't really graph those two things. It doesn't ask me to graph here, so this would be my answer, and I should be good to go. All right, looking at 6, I'm going to distribute to start. 2k minus 10 is less than 2k plus 5. You may be able to see what's about to happen here. If I subtract 2k from both sides to get my variables on one side, I'm left with negative 10 is less than 5. Well, is that true? It is, so this would be infinitely many solutions. So you're going to try 7 and 8. This one does have a decimal involved, but you should be all right. Do the best you can. Okay. If you have questions, make sure to raise your hand. One other type of problem on your homework that I want to make sure that you have a good handle on. This will be like number 11 on your homework. Okay. So it says find the value of y for which the solution of the inequality y times 3x minus 6 is greater than negative 18x minus 40. So notice, we're trying to figure out what this could be so that when all is said and done, our answer is all real numbers. Okay? So what we need to think about is when we do problems that have the answer of all real numbers, what happens? Well, our variables cancel out. So we need to get it to a point where when we distribute this y, this, and whatever it is when we distribute are going to give us numbers that are going to cancel out when we try to get our variables to one side. So really, essentially what we want is the same number, the same coefficient with that x. Okay, so we want negative 18 when we multiply by y. So what could y be to get us negative 18? Well, y could equal negative 6. So let's try this. Negative 6 times 3x minus 6 is greater than negative 18x minus 40. So if I distribute, I'm going to get negative 18x, okay, plus 36 is greater than negative 18x minus 40. Okay, that would be me simplifying. Then to get my variables to one side, I would add 18x to both sides, which would leave me with 36 is greater than, well, these also cancel, so negative 40. Is that true? Yes, it's true that 36 is greater than negative 40, so that would be all real numbers or IMS, same thing. Okay, so when this is the question it's asking you, you're looking to find a number that when you distribute, okay, it's going to give you the same, what's the way I want to say it, the same number and variable there. So the same coefficient, essentially. Okay, so your assignment today, I don't have another slide for you here, there we go, okay, is pages 46 through 47 in your journal. Okay, 1 through 11 you should be able to do. 12 is kind of a challenge. Okay, you can try it. You don't have to do it You can try it. We may have time to talk about it, we may not, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, but if you can figure it out, that's awesome. Okay, if not, no big deal. All right, have a great day. See you next time.